What's happening? What's going on? Kevin was right! Winter is coming and we don't have a man! Oh my god.
It's the word salad blue. No matter who, it's the word salad blue. No matter who, it's the word salad blue. It's the word salad blue. No matter who, it's the word salad blue. No matter who, it's the word salad blue. Wait, crayons? Don't talk about crayons. Crayons? Crayons? Even Kamala told you it's the butt hurt blues. No matter who, it's the butt hurt blues. No matter who, it's the butt hurt blues. No matter who, it's the butt. Hey, are you independent? Do you not need no man? That's fine. You can always call 1-800 Call a Bear. Call a bear. Hook up with your bear today. Warning, this content creator will not be held responsible if you get eaten alive by that bear.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
What's happening? What's going on? Kevin was right! Winter is coming and we don't have a man! Oh my god.
What's good, everybody? AB Media 83 here, and welcome to the Colosseum. And always remember, brothers.
What's happening? What's going on? Kevin was right! Winter is coming and we don't have a man! Oh my god.
Now, today we're going to be talking about the boule. The, how can I say this? Bougier. The bourgeoisie. And we're going to be talking about how the bourgeoisie is showing their colors. They're showing everybody what they think of not only lower class black people, but America in general. I don't know what you're taking. What is a textbook example of the bourgeoisie? What kind of language am I talking about? Who sounds like the bourgeoisie? Well, if you want a taste of what the bourgeoisie sounds like, let me share my screen. If you don't understand what the bourgeoisie is and what they sound like, I'm about to play you what they sound like. All right, let's see. Be special. Okay. This dude needs no introduction. MOT. Now, granted, I would use the video. I was on his panel yesterday, and we got into a discussion. Unfortunately, somebody flagged that stream, and now it is not up. Now, for the record, I don't blame him. Somebody flagged him for hate speech or something on that order. I don't blame him for taking it down. With that being said, let me make something perfectly clear. I disagree with this brother, and I disagree with the people that are on his panels. That does not give anybody
that's associated with me the right to flag his channel for no damn reason. It's called free speech for a reason. We don't have to agree with those brothers, but it is not okay to flag their channel unnecessarily and unprovoked. Just getting that clear. But with that being said, if you want a taste of what the bourgeoisie sounds like, well, just listen to his panel.
It was just on this flight back. I'm talking to this dude. He's so conservative, but nothing about him is conservative, other than the fact that he just want to live in a liberal society and he don't like living there.
Well, I think what you're running into, and I think what we're running into as a society in the U.S. is that depending on who you are and where you're from, that determines your conservatism. Now, if you're black and you live in California, it's kind of hard to be a conservative out there, right? But if you're white and you're from Wyoming, or you're from Sioux Falls or something like that, then the conservatism makes a lot of sense out there. But conservatism,
and I empathize with those people because they don't have any experience. Like, how can they think about that type of experience when they live and grow up in those areas? I totally get that.
Yeah, I mean, if you're trying to protect your way of life, you don't want government trying to challenge your Second Amendment, your constitutional rights, and things like that. That makes a lot of sense, but why don't they actually extend?
Mike Fee. Oh, hello, May. Anyway,
those recognitions of constitutional rights to black people, to black conservatives. Where were the black conservatives when Philando Castile was shot and had his Second Amendment rights being challenged? You never seen them find these people anywhere speaking on their behalf. And so, or government overreach when it
to these people's idea when it comes to government, and they don't live in a functional state themselves. I just find it very hard to listen to them or their opinions. Find it very hard to listen to them.
Many of them, let's be very frank, don't even understand how government really properly works.
And when they do start complaining about it, they want more liberal things, not conservative things.
Well, yeah. I mean, what conservative things can they really ask for, especially when they're.
You're just saying. Hear how they talking? That's basically the talk of the Boule. They look down on people. And they just don't look down on poor black people. They look down on poor white people too, ironically, even though poor white people probably have more power than them. Oops. But yeah.
Looking for proper health care. When we look in the South, we look at people who are who die more of diseases.
Listen to the language.
That can be prevented with the proper health care plan. We know that there are a lot of people in the South.
Oh, and this particular Boule is Nagone 11. I call him the old fool because he's in BGS's age range.
And they've broken it down, who have lifespans that are shorter than those who are living in northern states. I was just looking at this earlier today, where this is being shown, where it comes down to environmental stuff, that you have poisons and so forth that's coming into these environments because of poor infrastructure and so forth, environmental poisoning, and you have your healthcare issues that are definitely not addressing some of these other problems. You've got some big messes that are going on because of that, and it's going on in these conservative states that are.
Can you guys hear it now? I turned the sound up.
Are very much being exploited environmentally and so forth by the corporate game, and if you will, but by corporate America. And the people are not, their needs are not getting addressed hardly at all, but they're calling themselves conservatives. It's in many respects kind of evil, but yet it doesn't. It actually doesn't get. It doesn't get its proper address.
Well, so is blindly voting for the Democrat Party like they have our interests at all. Now, I'm not going to spend too much time on those brothers. Let's go to another example of the bourgeoisie.
So if you talk to people up here, they have no idea. So you have to take that very simple thing and say,
oh, yes, Roly-Poly Martin. Roly-Poly Martin is a textbook example of the bourgeoisie, the bougie era, as Tyler Perry calls him in this plays.
that's why I keep asking, what's the one thing you care about?
By the way, Tyler Perry's bourgeoisie too.
And then say, you do know that that person is one who votes on that. Oh, damn, I didn't know that. That person, so House of Delegates, the Senate. So if you want these things for your campus, this is why you have to vote. And then you have to say,
you just have to get out and vote, no matter how much the candidate sucks. And even though they're never going to do what they said they're going to do.
do you know that the sister who ran 2 years ago, she lost by 53 votes? And then you can say, so if 55 students, if it happens again, if 55 more students like yourself or you and 54 others vote, she would have won. That's how you make it plain. Go ahead.
Basically, because
Okay, we act like the bourgeoisie based on what facts may. Based on what facts may. Anyway.
I'm from Virginia, born and raised, New Jersey and California.
It's all the same.
How do you appeal to those people that are not from our state but still care about our
First question is, you have to ask them, are you registered? They say yes. Where are you registered? Because they're a student here, they can register here. And they can't vote in both places, they can actually be registered here. So that's the first thing. And then when that then happens, you still take the exact same issues and still apply to them. So for students,
one of the big things with the black bourgeoisie is if you don't vote, you don't count. I've heard that most of my life. Fact of the matter is, that's not true. Our ancestors didn't die for us to blindly vote for one party the way black people are doing right now. Our ancestors died for us to have the right to choose who we vote for. And don't forget, all y'all doing is proving Lyndon Baines Johnson right. I mean, he says he's going to have these Negroes voting for us Democrats for the next 200 years. Even though the Democrat Party was started by a slave owner. Even though the Democrat Party has a reputation for supporting racism. Now, sure, when Andrew Jackson first started the party, it was called the Democrat Republican Party. But we're not going to sit up here and act like the Democratic Party doesn't have a history of racism. The Democrat Party is also the party that started the Ku Klux Klan. They're also the party that started Jim Crow. And for the record, Jim Crow started because there were a bunch of lazy motherfuckers in the South and the North too. And black people, slaves, were 70% of the GDP. So basically, they started Jim Crow because they had to get your black ass back on that plantation. Never forget that. Oh, by the way, most of your HBCUs were started by bourgeoisie. Something to think about.
Says, hey, I'm concerned about loss of financial aid and Pell Grant. You say, you know that's members of Congress. So if you didn't vote in the last election, then you can't complain about who got stuff cut because you didn't vote.
See, you don't vote, you don't count, B.
So there's a midterm elections next year, 2026. So if you care about Pell Grants being cut, you should be voting for folks who want to expand Pell Grants. That's members of Congress. That's how you have to make the connection with somebody. You have to tie the issue to the political office. Cool? All right.
It is not that simple, May. There are bourgeoisie who act like pedestrians too. That's not that simple, and we're not separating. When we say that, we're not talking about class per se. There are plenty of bourgeoisie that are pedestrians too. Well, actually, to be fair, most of them are. I forget what BGS's term for it. I'll ask him later. But anyway.
Questions, you got it? Folks, that is it for us. Let me give it up for all of our students. So Tuesday, we're going to be in Fredericksburg broadcasting as well. And then we're in Virginia Beach on November 3rd, the day before the election. And for the folks.
All right, that's enough for roly-poly. Want another example of bourgeoisie? Well, we played this last week.
I think this is a really good opportunity. We talked about the invasion of cities and colleges. I want to throw to one more.
Oh, and there's a particular reason we're talking about Angela Rye with Let's the Tomato on the side today. Because she basically let the cat out of the bag. By the way, shout out to BGS. That's a waste of pretty. But anyway.
For example, someone who teeters on the edge quite a bit shows up talking out of both sides of his mouth. He had this to say recently about Jasmine Crockett. Sometimes you get attacked by your own.
Jasmine.
By the way, Stephen A. Smith is bourgeoisie. Jasmine Crockett is bourgeoisie.
Crockett chooses to express herself. I'm like, is that going to help your district in Texas? Aren't you there to find a way to get stuff done as opposed to just being an impediment to what Trump wants? How much work goes into that? I'm just going to go off about Trump, cuss him out every chance I get, say the most derogatory, incendiary things imaginable, and that's my day's work. That ain't work.
He's got to deal with Black.
There's nothing wrong with participation, May, but what are you participating in? Are you just falling in line? Are you really participating for just falling in line for whatever the Democrats are selling? Last year, they sold you a dementia patient with stage 4 cancer and an AKA who slept their way to the top. Hence why you now have an orange president. What's my incentive to participate with somebody who's going to sell me a dementia patient with stage 4 cancer? What is my incentive to participate with somebody who's going to sell me an incompetent AKA who clearly slept her way to the top? Okay, man. You can tell yourself that lie. That's fine.
Black woman issues.
Oh my God.
Writ large, and whatever self-hate exists within them.
That is self-hate.
I've never seen a clip.
Oh yeah, that is Tiffany Cross. Definitely another example of bourgeoisie.
Of him, where he actually praises a black woman.
That's what I'm saying. He's got black woman issue. He's got to deal with. But
For those who are listening, that was Stephen A. Smith.
Whatever you need for your district. The Republicans control the House of Representatives,
Right.
the Senate, and the White House.
They
You
think
guys-
they care. I know totally. We exhibit right in it. Found doesn't right. Lamp.
Disheartening
Salem State University that are extremely disappointed about the man he's become.
It's so disheartening to me.
Now you're really about to hear how, particularly some of the black women in the bourgeoisie think of everything.
It's frustrating, one, because anytime we speak on this, it's like we, man haters and all this. But I feel,
yeah, you don't like men, deal with it.
Such confidence in black men. I've never bought into the idea that all these black men are voting for Trump. Like, they vote overwhelmingly.
Bullshit. You try to make us fall in line when Stacey Abrams was running, and she lost by even more points. But anyway.
Democrat, we're pretty much in line with each other. What you all are saying is no, they are, and the data shows that there have been inroads among black men. I want to ask why, because it is frustrating to me, and it feels...
Because the Democrats weren't offering us anything. What's so hard about that? As I said, the Democrats sold us a dementia patient with stage 4 cancer and an incompetent AK who slept her way to the top. Why should we trust that party at all? In any other scenario, they would have been laughed out of the room. But no, we got the black bourgeoisie want to prop that bullshit up.
Heartbreaking, to be honest, because we are impacted by this system as well. It's not a matter of who's impacted worse. We're impacted differently. We sit at the intersection of being black and being women. And so when men are frustrated with this system, it feels like they fight us.
Well, you're help propping the system up. That's why it feels like we're fighting you, because you're encouraging the system to degrade us, to downgrade us, to diminish us.
And I would put Stephen A. Smith in that category too.
Like you're trying to do to Stephen A. Smith right now, and he didn't really criticize Jasmine Crockett.
Like, I'm mad at y'all for having joy. I'm mad at y'all for having success. I'm mad at y'all for surpassing us on college campuses.
We don't give a shit about how many degrees you have. Hell, May got 3 master's degrees, can't tell us what cantankerous is.
And so it's a small sect of men that are so angry and hurt that they're willing to align with the people who oppress us. What am I getting wrong? Because if you listen to Stephen A. Smith and you find anything other than some absolute, pure, self-hating, little dick energy nonsense from that...
Oh, did you hear that?
Half-witted idiot...
By the way,
basking getting wrong. Because if you listen to Stephen A. Smith and you find anything other than some absolute, pure, self-hating, little dick energy nonsense.
Now, you see that clip right there? That shot of Angela Rye right there. Okay, give me just 1 second here. That clip of Angela Rye right here. Well, I may as well say it. By the way, I got 16 watching. This episode of the Colosseum Special has been brought to you by Angela Rye with lettuce and tomato on the side. Like, share, subscribe, hit that Cash App, support that show, and hit the Super Chat and support the show. Once again, this episode of Colosseum Special has been brought to you by Angela Rye with lettuce and tomato on the side. Now, let's continue.
From that half-witted idiot basking in the non-existent...
Now, as you can see here, the Kari sellers know she's fucked up, so he's going to have to go Black Manosphere in just a little bit here.
Raised of his own ignorance. It is sad to me that he even gets an audience of black men. Why aren't black men right now saying, F Stephen A. Smith, we banning him, we're not listening to his podcast, we're not watching his show anymore?
Why should we do that? All he did was give Jasmine Crockett some constructive criticism. Why should we cancel Stephen A. Smith?
Women do, we organize.
But they're
yeah, you organize. That's why you have the most college debt. That's why you're the least married of all the women. Women in the United States. Yeah. Okay.
You asked the question why.
Yes. Tell me why.
So, by the way, I love the usage.
Right now, class. Right now, what you're listening to is the bourgeoisie trying to cover up their bullshit.
Of adjectives. I'm
sure I messed it up somewhere.
But the answer to the question why is kind of twofold. Black men showed up. We were the third largest demographic voting for. You had Black women, you had Jews as a collective, and then you had Black men, somewhere between 76% voting for Kamala Harris. And so, yeah, it's not a large number. We still are there. But the slippage you've seen is twofold. The first is that there's been no party, no group, which for the past 20, 30 years has taken the time to listen to Black men holistically.
Pretty much.
Many times we are spoken to about policy. That policy revolves around things like criminal justice.
Mm-hmm.
Now, because to Carly Sal's credit, this is the bourgeoisie telling the truth for once.
But
Weed.
and
Crypto.
marijuana. But very rarely do we have fulsome conversations about the Black men who are out there struggling to pay for early childhood education, child support, right? You know, how that
Wages.
You know, when the craziest thing is when you get locked up for child support, do you know that your child support continues to grow?
Of course.
Like it's your driver's license.
Yeah. They probably don't know that because, well, they're bourgeoisie. Now, before we go to the next segment, that's enough of that video. Before we go to the next segment, this next clip is the reason why we're doing this video today. After they did this little stream, this little video right here, they did a video on Joe Budden and his podcast. And evidently they were upset because Dr. Mark Lamont Hill is on that podcast supporting that brother. And Angela Rye, whether she know it or not, exposed the bourgeoisie in more ways than one with her comments on that particular episode. Now, I'm not going to go through that whole episode. It's over an hour long. We're not doing that today. However, we are going to play a little clip from Sabby Sabs.
Angela Rye.
With lettuce and tomato on the side.
Every now and then she pops in to co-host on The Breakfast Club, but she is a part of a different podcast called the Native Land Podcast, where it's her,
Tiffany Cross, and Andrew Phillip.
Tiffany, I always forget Tiffany's last name. But
Tiffany Cross.
You guys know what I'm talking about. Angela Rye, Tiffany, and Andrew Gillum. Andrew
Phillip.
Gillum ran for office a couple of years ago.
And unfortunately, he was caught butt naked in a hotel with a legitimate individual.
And so they have this podcast called the Native Land Pod.
Yep.
And there's another podcast called the Joe Budden Podcast. Joe Budden was a rapper, has his own podcast. It's independent. Native Land Pod is not. Hold on to that for a second. So when we talk about gatekeeping, it's this idea, even among Black people, there's gatekeeping in the Black community as well. And a lot of it can be classist. And what Angela Rye has said, to me, comes off as very classist.
Oh, no, don't get it twisted. Don't get it twisted, Mae. There are bourgeoisie on the right, too. Larry Elder. There are plenty of bourgeoisie on the right, too. Michael Steele. There's bourgeoisie on the right. I'm not just calling out it's not just the left bourgeoisie that thinks like this.
Now, this has to deal with Mark Lamont Hill also being a co-host on the Joe Budden podcast, which of course is different from what he does on Al Jazeera, is different from what he does on his YouTube channel, and from when he used to be on CNN. Yeah, it's different. It's more laid back. It's more chill. It is the #1 urban podcast in the country.
No argument. No arguments here.
Not The Breakfast Club. This one. And so when you go into a different environment, you're going to talk about different things, and you may behave a little bit different way. Just like the same way that I would be at the office is not the same way that I'm going to be with my friends. It's that type of difference. But Angela Rye apparently doesn't think that Mark Lamont Hill should be spending his time with Joe Budden's podcast. Let's go ahead and get into it. I kid you not, man. The gatekeeper of gatekeeping is Angela Rye.
With lettuce and tomato on the side.
Diamond said, this is absolutely disgusting. Angela Rye judging the podcast from a clip is just nasty. Joe Budden podcast gives Mark so much space and love and allows him to really dictate the flow of the pod. Her comments are so condescending and it's gross. Here comes the bouginess, folks.
To have conversations that stretch, or to have conversations where they at least can appreciate a different perspective. I don't know that I'm into that. So I just want Mark to know I'm praying for you, brother. You know that. And I want better for him. I think that he deserves to hold space with people who are at least more compassionate and more eager to learn from his perspective.
Don't get it twisted. There was a time where people who went to college and educated were eager to learn. That's not what I've been seeing the last few years. But anyway.
And clearly, you can take a Negro out the hood, but you can't take the hood out the Negro. So you might not want to keep leaping at Mark. He might just snap and bust your ass next time. I don't know. I don't want him.
In other words, she's saying Mark Lamont Hill is too good for the Joe Budden podcast. Even though Joe Budden would probably qualify as bourgeoisie too. Just saying. I'm just saying. Very funny, Craig. Not today. Keep it up though, Craig. One of these days, this is going to be a Mass Effect stream. You just watch.
I'm going to do that, but to have conversations.
Let's talk about this compassion that she mentioned here. You know, a lot of people who came to know of Angela Rye, if they weren't familiar with her, was when she was a co-host on The Breakfast Club and she interviewed Dr. Jill Stein and Butch Ware.
Oh, I remember that interview quite well. In fact, we have a little clip from that interview. Angela Rye tried to embarrass Dr. Jill Stein. And Dr. Jill Stein, she forgot Dr. Jill Stein is Miss Ann. And she got put in her place. So for a portion of the Breakfast Club stream, she was pouting because she got put in her place. Yeah, I remember that stream. I would play it, but you know the Breakfast Club is probably gonna clip my channel. By the way, fair use. Fair use. By the way, y'all like, share. I got 22 watching. Like, share, subscribe. Hit that Cash App. Support the show. Hit the super chat and support the show.
When they were running for president for 2024, and that was a very heated conversation. And Butch and Jill schooled Angela Rye because Angela Rye, for those who are not aware, yeah, she was a lawyer. She's a Democratic strategist, so she spent time on the Hill.
Yes.
You need to understand this. Walk with me here. She's friends with Kamala Harris, as she said so herself. On The Breakfast Club, she's her friend. And so they bring in Angela Rye as kind of like this setup, I guess, to try to like get Jill and Butch Ware and all this type of stuff. And they really schooled Angela and said, this is what we should be fighting for. And what you're pushing with Kamala is milquetoast and is not going to help the working class people.
Pretty much.
But to wrap that up very quickly.
And once again, shout out to Jill Stein for pointing that Miss Ann finger at her and having Angela pout. Oh, look at that poor baby. Anyway.
What I have noticed about her, and in particular, those who are in that Boule space, the Black Boule space, they seem to have this perception that if you are a Black academic, you should not be hanging out with them folk. You should be conversating in spaces with other like-minded Black academics like yourself, as if Mark Lamont Hill doesn't already do that. He does do that. But the fact that he's over there with Joe Budden and it's an urban podcast and they crack up a little bit and they joke and all this kind of stuff. She also seemed to have a problem with one of the comments that was made about when Mark was talking about he's lost friends in Gaza. And then, Joe Budden was like, oh, that again, that type of thing, and went on to a different topic. And she seemed to have a problem with that. Angela Rye seemed to have a problem with that, which is hilarious to me because you didn't seem to have a problem with it when Jill and Butch were on the Breakfast Club and they were talking to you about the Palestinian people and they were telling you how all those kids and stuff were being killed and dying. You didn't have a problem with it then. You folded your arms and said, but my friend Kamala.
Yeah, pretty much.
So you can't just have compassion for people when it suits you to do so politically, Angela. When we talk about gatekeepers, I'm talking about people like her too. This idea that if you are a Black academic, you need to stay in those spaces and only those spaces only. And how dare.
Yeah. Based on what I've seen from the so-called Black academics, y'all need to touch grass. Seriously. Not all the Black academics. Y'all know I'm not talking about Dr. T, the PhDs in this space, but some of these academics, man, y'all need to touch grass. Seriously.
Dare you go talk to the Black people who don't have a degree? How dare you go talk to the ones who are hood, as she put in this video? Let me tell you something, okay? Let's make it very clear, because I've been on both sides. My parents didn't go to college. My grandparents didn't go to college. My parents grew up in the hood in Baltimore.
Mm-hmm.
I went to college. I was able to make, a good life for myself. I'm not rich. I'm not poor. I'm getting by. I still got student loan debt. But this idea of that we should only be amongst our certain class in the Black community is part of the reason why we have these fractions and we don't get further than we could because of the things that Angela Rye is saying. This bouginess, stick your nose up in the air attitude is part of the reason why the Democratic Party is losing support with the Black.
By the way, what she's talking about, the sticking their nose up in the air attitude. Why do you think I call most Black Democrats butthurt blue? Who do you think I was talking about? One of the people I was particularly talking about was some of the Black bourgeoisie on that side who's always butthurt because we won't go kiss the Democrat Party's ass for them.
Community, because you don't want to go into those areas because your friend Kamala didn't want to go to the hood. You see what I'm saying? I'm going to look my nose down at these people because they speak this way. You sound like the gatekeepers.
Are you even listening to the stream, May? She's describing what bourgeoisie, at least some of them, do. But anyway.
In the professional managerial class that do the same thing to you. There were white gatekeepers in the PMC class that did the same thing to you because you were Black.
Pretty much.
Regardless of.
And I think that's some of the Black bourgeoisie's problem. They forget that there's still Negroes too in this country, and them upper echelon white folk don't care about them. All you are to the upper echelon of the Democrat Party is a useful tool. And what does white supremacy do with their tools when they're done with them? Oh, right, they break them. Just like they broke Joe Reed.
How much education you had. So the Black Boule is a problem. And I've been calling this out for quite some time because I have been on both sides. I know what it's like to go to an inner city school. I also know what it's like to go to school overseas. And everybody, unlike you, Angela, can't go to college and become a lawyer.
Yep.
And you look down on your nose at the people, the very same community. because they don't talk like you, because they're not as educated as you.
I don't know. She talked like she's from the hood, but anyway.
Joe Budden did respond to her. I think we need to see that. It starts with Mark Lamont Hill here, because they did issue a response.
This is in the aftermath of my contretemps with Flip last week.
Who?
There was
He's doing it now. He's doing it.
Yeah, he's doing tricky words. Tricky words. There was a lot of media that came out, but one of the big pods that I saw respond to it, and I just heard it this morning on the way in, was the Native Land Podcast, which is a podcast with Andrew Gillum, former mayor of Tallahassee, Angela Rye, formerly of CNN, media mogul.
Mark, if you're gonna do it and give your friends a whole bunch of respect,
Tiffany Cross, and I gave y'all a chance to do it.
All right, yo, check this out. Check this out.
What you doing?
No, because he's being too respectful for me.
We gonna turn up. He's supposed to. We gonna turn up.
Yeah, but I don't want to.
Let him
They're so big and say they last.
Anyway, let me finish the thought. I'll just say this. They put a podcast out responding to what happened between Flip and me, and they offer different perspectives on that. I thought they were generally respectful, and I agree with a lot of what was said. Some of it I had a slightly different take on. But they were basically using this as a kind of launching pad to talk about a bigger issue, which they saw was a dumbing down of America. I think the episode was called Joe Budden, the Joe Budden podcast, and the dumbing down of America.
That's what they called the title. Now, obviously, this is a different setting, right? Like Joe Budden podcast, it's urban, it's different, a little bit more chill, relaxed, that type of thing. And they did call it, they titled it, by they, I mean Native Land Pod, they titled it The Dumbing Down of America. They went there.
What's going on, BGS?
Yeah, what's going on? Yeah, that's so-called elitism. Okay, looking down on us, and they forget where they are.
Yeah.
Okay.
What was it? I'm trying to be nice because I'm trying to get a little bit more money, but you're still a Negro too, so you don't need to be.
What did Rorschach says? I'm not in here with you. You're in here with me. Okay.
Yeah. Case in point.
Yeah.
Dr. King was bourgeoisie.
Yeah, he was. Yeah.
Dr. King was bourgeoisie. Yeah. And it didn't touch him until he started about helping poor people.
Part of it.
Okay.
Poor people, and but he was bringing together the black civil rights movement and the anti-war movement together, which is the boomers.
Yeah.
Remember the 1968, right after the 1968 convention, that's when all the hell broke loose.
Oh yeah, that is true.
Yeah.
They had them riots and everything.
They had the riots and everything, and he was part of the riots and stuff like that because but he was bringing together the white boomers and the black boomers together in the same coalition.
Yeah. By the way,
couldn't have that.
Had a little chat with MOT yesterday.
Really? Oh, you were on his? Well, he had a stream.
Yep.
Okay.
Unfortunately, he had to take it down because somebody flagged it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh my. Okay.
Wasn't me, but somebody flagged it.
Oh,
and it was the usual shit. How come you live in Indiana? Blah 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 blah.
Okay, yeah, I get it, but yeah. So what was said? What was the whole thing about?
They were talking about the what was it they were talking about? Oh yeah, the no Kings protest and that.
Okay. All right. They were talking about no Kings protests, okay. And that what's that gonna do?
Nothing.
He's a lame duck president. Nothing.
Yeah. In my personal opinion, I think his son is controlling his true social account.
May says we think all blacks say, yeah, we do. Okay. If you go read the book, a lot of the stuff, believe it or not, a lot of stuff, the degeneracy we get in some of the degeneracy we get from the lower class in the lower class comes from the upper class about selling drugs and stuff like that. Okay, that stuff was done by the upper class first. by the black bourgeoisie. If you go read Franklin's book, The Black Bourgeoisie, a lot of stuff, the materialism, that kind of stuff, that started with the bourgeoisie. So there's a rampant materialism, that kind of stuff, and wanting luxury items and wanting that over savings and the classical stuff. Okay, that was the black bourgeoisie that started that. So yeah, we come from the exact same culture. But most of the black bourgeoisie, the original ones, were offspring of the slave master.
Yep.
We come from the same place, and got put back down in the same place by the slave master with Plessy versus Ferguson. That's like Du Bois and all these other people started the integration drive and all the protesting drive for civil rights because they weren't allowed to take their place next to the white slave master.
Pretty much.
There ain't no stark contrast in real time.
And they were saying that the distinction between me and Flip is evidence of that. Now, as I said earlier in the show, I don't agree with that part of it.
AB, she says you don't see a stark contrast. You just had what's her name talking about a little dick energy, okay?
Yep.
On a podcast. We talk about a well-known journalist, supposedly journalist, right? It's been on MSNBC, part of Black Bourgeoisie, talking about little dick energy. Come on.
Mm-hmm.
And when the AKAs, okay, Kamala Harris and stuff like that, you can't tell her. You can't, other than the money, you can't tell her from the rest of the chicks down the line. Okay, and the kind of music she likes, how she likes to dance, she likes to party with.
Oh, she was on Kamala Harris. I forget what she was talking about. She used the term motherfucker. I was like, what the? I was like, okay.
Yes. Oh yeah. We ride the black bourgeoisie. I mean, there's a class difference, but the thing, we all come from the same root. I said, I don't know why y'all think we don't. I've been around the black bourgeoisie. I know we a lot alike. Okay.
Yep.
I'm brother from the hood. And I was dealing, with these cats were making mid six figures back in the 70s. Okay. These cats were millionaires. Okay, basically. And I'm the dude from the smart kid from the hood, and I'm hanging out with these folks. Okay, I know we the same.
Yeah, you got to remember, BGS went to school with Ike and Tina's kids.
Ike and Tina's kids, I know. Yeah, amongst others. Okay, Ray Charles' son. What's his name? Sidney Poitier's goddaughter, amongst other things. Okay.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Like six of my friends, six of my classmates were. Six of my classmates, the black ones, actually went to military academies. Six of them graduated, went to military academies.
Nice.
Okay? I should have been the seventh, but six of them went to military academies. I had what is it? 7 or 8 went to Stanford that I know of. Okay, had 3 went to Caltech. Okay.
Nice.
Okay, my play brother, my best friend's brother, he graduated from Yale in medicine. So I know about I know the difference between the black bourgeoisie, which is the old money. Okay, I met them. I've been in their mansions and stuff like that, and I know the difference. I know with white old money.
Mm-hmm.
So to say that there's that big a difference, okay, we have all kind of people in our spaces, right? They tell you they ain't that big a difference. Frazier told you it ain't that big a difference because we come from the same root.
Mm-hmm.
Saying lifestyle ain't the difference. Okay, culture is the difference. Our culture is the same.
Oh, by the way, I found out what happened to that young man. Evidently, it was road rage.
Oh, okay.
Some chick shot him.
Oh, yeah. Well, kind of makes sense. Well, we get to that point where the women are wilding out. Okay.
Yeah, I gotta talk about
but that's not gonna last for very long. Pretty soon they're gonna start cracking on the women.
I think this DoorDash driver probably summed up the Me Too movement in a nutshell.
Yeah.
I'll talk about that later.
I mean, I can't tell you how many upper class bourgeoisie women watch the Real House of Atlanta, Real Housewives, and all of that other kind of crap, all the other kind of crap that they do behind the scenes, and then and claim, okay, the doctors and doctors and physicians and people with Ivy League degrees, shit like that.
So crazy.
Okay, look. If you listen to what's her name, graduated from Harvard. What's your name? Bowser. Kimberly Nicole Foster, right? Okay. Black bourgeoisie, okay? Graduated from Harvard. She don't sound no different. I don't know what do you guys think it is? Evidently, you're not around them enough, baby.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, y'all know you're around them, so you
Well,
can't
that's
tell me
where
that they're
problem
not.
number one arises for me, and then I'll toss it back to Mark. You title it that, and then admittedly say, I don't look at that because that's not my ministry. See, that's why I appreciate what Andrew had to say, because he said, one, I'm not familiar with this podcast. I don't watch the clips from this podcast. I assume this is not their frequency every week. He did. Thank you, Andrew.
That's the difference, right? So she took that one clip that was on social media and they decided to make it a big thing about it. But Andrew Gillum, who's also part of Native Podcast, was like, I don't watch it. I don't watch the Joe Budden podcast, so I don't really know, right?
He's a politician.
So that is Joe Budden sitting here. Every time I see him, I think about that song. Let me just make this statement loud and clear. Jersey's here, right?
So he can't deal. He can't afford to get, because he's a politician. He can't afford to get drugged down into this. Okay. Now they want to be in the mud. That's like when they start a podcast. Okay. They think that you're gonna bring mainstream down to the YouTube level. No, baby. You down here with the regular folks. Okay. And so you think that you can walk around slapping people? No, you're gonna get slapped back.
Oh yes.
And hard.
If you don't watch those things, just say you don't watch those.
Oh, by the way, I got a treat for you. We said we were gonna clip it, and I clipped it.
Okay.
What's happening? What's going on? Kevin was right. Winter is coming, and we don't have a man. Oh my God.
Tomorrow, I'm leading off with that tomorrow. I'm leading off with that tomorrow.
Those things, but I felt like, again,
what are you talking about tomorrow, by the way, just out of curiosity?
Say what?
What are you talking about tomorrow, by the way, out of curiosity?
Oh, that's a good question. I don't know. There's a couple things. One is what I'm talking about is how Black women are poisoning the African women over there, right? So they're poisoning them to be mean to African American men, okay? Or they so-called passport bros, and start talking to us and treating us like Black women do, when you know that's not your culture, okay? And I have, when I put in passport bros, I never see a lot of white boys use passport bros. When I see passport bros, there's always Black people, okay? There's always Black women talking negatively about Black men.
White people are doing it so long. They're like, why?
But the thing is, them Kenyan women have been getting run through by them Chinese and white men forever. Okay.
Yep.
Forever. And Black men coming over there and sing praises to them and say how nice they are, how sweet they are, and basically listen to their Black sisters and start talking trash. And y'all forget, okay, there's 4 billion women on the planet. Okay.
Yep, there are 4 billion other countries on the planet.
All them Black men will do is flow someplace else, okay?
Yep.
All they gonna do.
And that was that elitism coming from Angela Rye, which she has done this before. Let's continue.
Yes.
Thank you, Andrew. That's why you need niggas with brains around. Thank you. That indeed is not our frequency every week.
Oh, wait a minute. But they're the most quote unquote educated.
Educated, yes. Who says that Joe Budden's not educated?
True.
You said Joe Budden. You can tell Joe Budden is educated. He's not, he ain't off the street drug dealer. He went to school. You can tell.
As I pointed out, Joe Budden's bourgeoisie too. What's the big deal?
He went on to say, I also trust Mark and his ability to gauge where he should and shouldn't be, who he should connect with and who he shouldn't, to kind of filter out where he's safe at. So I took.
Now, for the record, I don't necessarily care for Mark Lamont Hill, but if Joe Budden's comfortable with him, that's fine.
Yeah. Yeah, Mark's comfortable with it, so that's also fine. Okay.
Yeah.
And they haven't disrespected Mark Lamont Hill, from what I've seen, okay, they might disagree, but Joe Budden's been fairly.
Yeah, they've been brothers sitting down talking.
Yeah.
All the clips I've seen of them. So I don't see what the issue is.
Took offense to the sentiment. I took offense to a few sentiments.
Wait. I take that back. I think I do know what the issue is.
What?
It's you know what it is.
What?
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
Okay, we all know what the black bourgeoisie is. Okay, just because you could come from a poor family, get a PhD, speak the perfect King's English, but you're not black bourgeoisie. Most of the black bourgeoisie, the real ones, are actually born into it. Okay, you got to be accepted to it.
Exactly.
Basically, most of the black bourgeoisies are Jack and Jill. Okay, you may be able to sneak into it. If you become a one of the Divine Nine fraternity, okay?
Yeah, that's true.
Okay. Kamala Harris was not a black bourgeoisie. Okay. She wasn't born into it.
But one is that I don't love Mark down. I take offense to that. I don't know how much I want to go into love Mark down. Fuck one.
No, it's
about. But I almost guarantee you, Angela Rye is probably black bourgeoisie though.
Yeah.
And so is the other girl.
He has a famous father or something. I can't think. I don't remember.
Yeah.
The young lady Tiffany. So it's 4 people on the panel.
Tiffany Cross. That's her last name. I always forget her name.
2 gentlemen.
Yeah.
2 women. Angela Rye, young lady Tiffany. Bakari and the old mayor, Andrew Gilman.
Who's your age?
So,
if we were a little more,
yeah,
Fugazi.
yeah.
Did he sneak? Didn't he say Fugazi?
Yep.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. I call him Andrew Feeling.
Yeah. Oh man, that's just
that was unfortunate, but
it's not unfortunate. You shouldn't be. You should know better than that, man. You on one, you're doing drugs. 2, you a gay man doing drugs in a motel with a white dude. Okay, and then get caught. Okay.
Yeah.
While running for governor. Come on, man.
Actually, he got caught after he ran for governor, but he's still. I think they did that to make sure he don't run for governor again. But anyway.
He ran for governor.
Yes.
Okay. But he, so who I think is dope too, by the way. So a lot of times in these political spaces, a lot of times in the spaces that are quote unquote intellectual, we often look at demographics and we look and pick and choose when we want to play victim and we want to play aggressor. So when the rich white people are doing certain things to us, we cry wolf. I mean, we don't cry wolf, we cry foul. And then we'll take the same exact thing and now shun other people that are less than we are or that we deem less than we are. So when we're in a political space and we see all these rich white people making all these moves and doing all these shit and saying, fuck the masses, I don't care what they think. And then the young lady got on the platform and basically called Flip dumb and said, I don't give a fuck what he thinks. I don't want to hear from him because he's not, in my opinion, credible or his opinion is not valid.
Oh, wait a minute. Don't talk about Tiffany Cross like that. Oh, wait, never mind. But anyway, I got 53 watching. Y'all like, share, subscribe, hit the Cash App, support the show, and hit that super chat. Support the show. And since BGS is here, BGS tax is in effect. All right.
It's the same thing that the white people that oppress us say their opinion is not valid. I don't want to give a fuck about the thoughts of sheep when I'm a lion. So I
pause right here. Let me just add to this part here. I think this is really important. I get tired of hearing the so-and-so's not credible thing. And so Tiffany and Angela to make those comments about another black person who was on a podcast and say, oh, that person's not credible. Why? Because they didn't go to law school? Because they're not a Democrat strategist?
Pretty much.
Because they didn't work on the Hill? So because they didn't do those things, they're not credible? Because they're not a part of the Black Boule? Because they didn't go to HBCU? So because they didn't tap dance for Hillary Clinton, like Roland Martin, so because they don't do those things, they're not credible to you? This whole idea that someone has to be this expert of sorts in order to have a mic in front of them, I don't buy it. I don't believe it. Whether you're an expert or something, not people have experiences, people have opinions. And I think people should be able to express that. But when you have a black podcast basically looking down on another one, which I think part of this is jealousy, because this is the #1 urban podcast, is the Joe Budden podcast. The native land don't get these numbers.
Nope.
They bring,
and particularly on that video, they got even more dislikes.
Yeah.
And Bakari Sellers on, I think, to help them. So I think there's some jealousy there. But you're looking down on them, and they already have people bigger than them looking down on them, and you have people looking down on you. So to me, this makes no damn sense. Instead of trying to have some type of unity, let me see how I can tear them down. Oh, quickest way. I'm more educated than them.
I'm probably make a small video, but
I'm a PhD.
Immersed educated.
They don't know what they're talking about.
By the way, I ripped Bay earlier. I said like, hell, man, the man got 3 degrees, can't tell us what cantankerous is.
Oh, the other side. Oh, there you go. Shots fired.
They are not credible. Tiffany Crossman, all those years on MSNBC. They got rid of her. The moment they want you, they got rid of you.
Shout out to Professor Black Truth. What does white supremacy does with the tools when they done with them? They break them.
Yeah.
But you were reading a teleprompter. So people can look at you and say, well, you're not credible. You were just reading a script.
Ooh.
Yeah. Ooh. Yeah.
This is the gatekeeping that I'm talking about. And it does exist in media, also outside of media. But this idea that because of your title, you need to stay in said space and you do not need to congregate with those people over there. That's the bouginess from the Black Boule. And I've had a problem with it for a long time. And more people need to call it out. I don't like it. Let's continue on a little bit more here.
I think that that's a hypocrisy in that. You understand what I'm saying?
I do.
Also, that's what happened with Flip and Mark is contextual. And if you don't watch the pod, which none of them admittedly do, you don't even understand the argument that was taking place.
And this is where my problem comes in the so-called intellectual community and thought process. Not watching or citing your sources is a huge red flag. You can't just spitball some shit and then claim you're an intellectual, or go off a 30-second clip and claim you're an intellectual. Like, if you don't watch the podcast,
happens all the time. It often happens with the most educated.
Yeah, and admit that you don't watch the podcast and admit that you only see it in clip. And I didn't watch their podcast, so I can't speak on that. But if that is indeed the case,
That'd be ironic.
I know, right? Which why I won't have a ton to say in here. But I do have a problem with someone not watching the podcast and having a deep opinion about the podcast.
And you don't even.
Like, wait a minute! Don't talk about maybe alchemists like that. Oops, I said that out loud. Anyway,
You don't know what the argument is about, where the argument came from. You don't know anything.
Well, that's part of where my acceptance of her non-invitation becomes relevant, right? Like Angela, right? I can assure you, like, I've got over 25 years in this business. I can assure you, if you and I are in the same place, it's a mistake on my part. Like, I'm all for people saying who's invited and uninvited places, so I ain't mad at it. But we would never be in the same space.
I disagree with that, and I took offense to that because it was almost.
Just for a second here. Shout out to Mrs. Sippy Delta guy. Hey family, and shout out to May.
Thanks.
Yeah. Okay.
May stay dodging bullets, boy.
You ain't lying.
She stayed dodging strays.
Y'all get
Cha-ching, 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 cha-ching. You better thank your donors.
You know what? To be totally fair, I do have to shout out Kamala Harris because I did steal that from her to a degree when she said, "You better thank a union."
You got to thank a union member. Yeah.
I was like, damn it. But anyway.
I was saying that, if you aren't this, if you don't have these accolades, I don't even want to communicate with you.
And that's how it is. And this is what I've been saying for quite some time. That's how it is. If you don't have these credentials, I don't want to talk to you. If you don't have, and even then, if you do have those credentials, but you're not saying what is suitable for like the Democratic Party, for example, they don't want to deal with you. Oh no, let's not talk to that person. Angela Rye goes into spaces enough where she was able to say that Kamala Harris is her friend. So that tells you who she hanging out with.
Ooh.
She goes into spaces enough where she can hang out with members of the Congressional Black Caucus. She's in those bubbles. And it's almost this mentality that once you're in those bubbles, you're not supposed to talk to people outside of those bubbles.
Oh.
Which I vehemently disagree.
And as I said earlier, based on some of the conversations I've heard inside of some of those bubbles, what's that they always try to tell us, BGS? They need to go touch some grass. For real.
Yep. I think you need to talk to everybody. I don't think it should just be, I'm only going to talk to people that are on my level.
Yep.
That type of attitude and that type of mentality is honestly one of the things that continue, I think, to hold us back. You will see some of the comments to Angela. AJ said, Angela Rye's comments are anti-Black and classist. She was perfectly fine with Mark working for a predominantly white-owned org who fired him for advocating for Palestinians.
Yeah, that's true.
Come back home to what exactly? White supremacy ? Here's a bit here that Joe Budden says. He goes off a little bit more.
You quote-unquote intellectuals seem to be pulling a lot from places that, again, like it said, you admittedly know very little about. It just comes off away.
Yeah,
it comes off away.
It's like if you put,
especially when you pretending especially when you pretending to do all of this super black kumbaya shit. I got a problem with that too. I got a problem with the people that masquerade as kumbaya, super black, all for the people, and I'll be the first one to tell you how we're different. I come on here every week and say we're less different than we are like. We just got different ideologies. But I'm not going to keep listening to people who in 25 years, I've never said the name Angela Rye. I don't give a fuck about nothing y'all talking about over there. I'm saying that respectfully. I don't come on here and say a word about any of that shit. I expect reciprocity. You could have titled that clip totally different.
That's true.
Yeah.
Don't claim to be super pro-black and then take the #1 black urban podcast and put that type of stink on it because you think you got a friend over here. That don't give you a license.
They were basically saying they were dumb. The dumbing down of America. They were basically calling Joe Budden and his co-host, they were basically calling them dumb.
I don't think it's that.
Yeah, I said something like Joe Budden and the dumbing down of America. It was like damn.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know why they took issue with him. Okay, that doesn't make sense. Especially if you
I don't think
watch
if Mark was here, not they. I think
if Mark was here, they would never have those conversations.
No,
they having those conversations because their friend is up here.
No, they having those conversations because Mark is deemed an academic and an intellectual, which you.
Well, he is not deemed.
No,
he is.
no. I said what you are. So now it's why is he even there? Like Angela Yee said, Mark, just come home.
Angela Rye.
I mean, pardon.
Say whatever you want about Mark. You still a brothers. What's the big deal?
Angela Rye said, Mark, just come home.
That's the other beat.
But then you go on to say how diverse Mark is. So I think that that's an insult because you don't put Mark in a box. Mark is home. Mark is a black man sitting in a room with black men that grew up in similar circumstances, albeit we wasn't all in the cult. You can't say
we
he's
all
not
had
home.
our own walks of life.
Yeah, dog. Like I just.
Yeah, in other words, like I said, I unfortunately I think it goes back to.
I'm done with life, and it's all Jermaine's fault. It's always Jermaine's fault. I'm done.
Sadly, but
Yeah.
I just disagree with that shit. I look
And
at
thank God there was a black-owned, independent media company there to pick up our good brother when he was misunderstood by other outlets.
Talk about it.
Why is that part not being said by pro-black native land people? I'm getting confused.
Yeah, that's
Mark was a free agent. Y'all had a chance to bring him home
and didn't.
You didn't.
That's a really good point.
Pretty much.
When Mark Lamont Hill was let go by CNN because he talked about Gaza way back in the day, when they started Native Land Pod, did they try to pick up Mark Lamont Hill?
No, they did not.
Did any of these outlets were trying to pick up Mark Lamont Hill when he lost his job?
Nope.
Nope. No, they did not.
The Joe Budden podcast.
We tell brothers all the time, but yes, go where you're celebrated.
Is independent. Keep that in mind. Native Land is not as a part of iHeartRadio, just like the Breakfast Club. It probably span off of the Breakfast Club, actually, now that I think about it, considering she was one of the co-hosts at one point on the Breakfast Club. But that was the worst part, that come on home. Look, I talk to everybody. We bring people on the show.
Hey, BGS, in other words, come back to mama.
Yeah.
That agree with me on some things. I don't know anyone that agrees with me on everything. I don't agree with anyone on everything, right? We bring people on this show from all walks of life. Sometimes you see other journalists, podcasters, researchers, etc. But then you'll also see me bring on people like the gentleman who came on who just beat the HOA in his neighborhood. We brought activists on this show. We bring on everybody, people from all different walks of life. I do mutual aid. Like there's a number of us from RBN, we do mutual aid. Like imagine us having that same mindset. Who would we be helping? And then there's this idea of forgetting where you came from. And it's like, no matter how much success you get in your life, never forget where you came from. And especially anything. It's like, I don't like people being put in a bubble, but also this is gatekeeping. You shouldn't talk to these people. You shouldn't talk to, and Mark Lamont Hill, he came onto the show right before the presidential election. He came onto the show. He was a part of a panel. I also went on to his show. Mark Lamont Hill seems to go different places. Right? He does talk to different people. But this idea that you shouldn't talk to certain people, that's what I'm talking about. Some of it is political.
Hey, here's a question that nobody's asked, BJS.
What?
Where was Angela Ryan then when Mark Lamont Hill got attacked by that woman a while back?
Oh, you're talking about when he got tried to spray him?
Yeah.
I don't know. They're doing their thing. Okay, they're probably licking their wounds over Hillary Clinton.
No, but this happened like earlier this year. He got attacked by that black woman.
Yeah.
Where was Angela Ryan then? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm asking. I know.
And you know how it is, okay? And really, this is just YouTube beef stuff, right? Okay, they're trying to just going after Stephen A. Now they're going after Joe Budden. Okay, they're trying to get clout. So basically, this is
some of it is class.
Yeah, pretty much.
This. And I don't think it should be happening at all. This gentleman here made up a really good point. Lance said, what Angela Rye said about the Joe Budden podcast is exactly why, we ain't gonna say it on here, is exactly why black men can't advance. And it's crazy since Joe has built one of the largest independently owned black platforms in modern times. Yeah. Angela. Amisha, podcast wars again. I don't think it's a secret to anyone that Budden's podcast runs circles around Native Land and the audience reach is in another universe. Mark Lamont Hill is there because he wants to reach outside of the academic bourgeoisie, an audience he already has.
Yes.
Well said. You'll look at Native Land Pod here, has a new host. Please join us welcoming Bakari Sellers. So see now Bakari Sellers is a part of Native Land Pod. Right. Now she said all that stuff on there about, she was talking about Gaza. That was one of the things she brought up and about having compassion. Right. Okay. But Bakari Sellers was also an AIPAC puppet. Mr. Pro-Israel Bakari Sellers. So do you see how I say these things that they say don't make any damn sense?
No, it actually makes sense. You know, if you're gonna be up there watching, you have to kiss ass to certain people.
She got they're shills. They can't go back. Okay, they have to stay consistent. So that's what they're doing. But I don't know why. I don't know what the
Native
Joe Biden
Land
podcast to do with this.
For the names that they have on that podcast, they should get more views, but they don't. And the reason why they don't is because ain't nobody trying to buy that bullshit. And then also,
the black manosphere strikes again. Okay, it strikes again. Okay, yeah, it strikes again. They've been watching it, man. I started using that.
You
man,
just
like
bring
20 years
Man,
ago.
we gotta play that again. I might have to clip that one.
Yo, that bullshit. And you know what? When I heard Professor Wolf use it, I said, "Oh, we done penetrated, baby. We here."
Native Land, for the names that they have on that podcast, they should get more views, but they don't. And the reason why they don't is because ain't nobody trying to buy that bullshit.
Go, sister. Say it again, black girl. Say it again.
And then also, you just bring it on people who repeat the same thing that you say. You don't bring on people who are different. You just bring on the same people. It's just an echo chamber. And I think people get tired of echo chambers.
I gotta play that
ain't
one.
nobody trying to buy that bullshit. And then also, you just bring it on people who repeat the same thing that you say. You don't bring on people who are different.
Y'all hit the Cash App, support the show.
Yeah.
Hit the Super
Man,
Chat,
we have
bullshit tax.
we have severely penetrated the whole political system, man. The black manosphere through and through. You know, shout out to my little brother, the Godfather St. Kevin. Okay.
Yes.
We have escape velocity, man. They seen bullshit in China. Okay.
You just bring on the same people. It's just an echo chamber. And I think people get tired of echo chambers.
Yep.
Joe Budden's podcast, it's an urban podcast. It's a little bit different, but I know I'm going to hear something. I may hear something today that I didn't know about. It's going to be different conversation.
Yeah.
But the bougie, classist attitude, that's not going to get you far, man. That's not going to get you far.
Not on YouTube.
Hey guys, this was a savvy clip. If you like what you saw,
yeah, they ain't go. Yeah, I think
not on
that's
YouTube.
Problem. I think that's some of Butthurt Blues problem on here.
Yeah,
they think that uppity shit's gonna fly, and it's just not flying.
Butthurt Blue, I can't. You know, when I first heard them, and then because I actually helped them get their channel off the ground, right? And then they started attacking me for nothing. I said, "What? What are you guys after? What are you guys on?" Okay, because what they're trying to do didn't make any sense. I said, "You're trying to get people to do the traditional thing, and you're in a non-traditional space. It doesn't make sense." Okay, instead of using tools that are here, because the thing is, that's one thing I know. Okay, you can think what you want. You can believe what you want. You might even be right, but the thing is, you can't reach people and get people to actually side with you and throw their shekels in. You're not going to go anywhere, man. And, people talk about me and I'm running the call, that kind of stuff. I don't run shit, okay? I can do. I always tell. All I have is my little 2 shekels, just like everybody else, right?
Oh yeah, that too. You like you stick it up the beach, yes, or
no. And like I said, I always try to get back, with y'all. So, and I don't just up there you guys kiss my ass. I try to pull you guys along. The reason I wanted a big following is because I want to have coattails that actually pull people like you guys up. Give you guys a leg up. Okay, like when I showed Dr. Neal and Dr. Dunbar, man, doing the book, man. Okay, they had 10 people watching. I said, let me get some eyes on these people.
I'm probably have to go over there too, because that was a good conversation.
Yeah, I could get eyes on people. But thing is, and that's one thing that I might do that tomorrow about with another channel with what Angry Man and Obsidian said, because they never thought we'd actually get here. They started in 2015, and they
Right.
said if they had told in 2015, if somebody had told them that we would have a major effect on the political situation in America, he'd have said, "What are you smoking?" And I want some of it too, okay? Because they didn't believe it, but I knew. Okay? But
Yeah.
I knew that it could be done because I had already done it before.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, you weren't kidding. Trump is the fucking Joker, man.
That's what. Y'all talk. You guys think I'm just saying it for hype, man.
Man, this dude
he's
made
a
a
Joker.
meme. This dude made an AI meme of this little soy boy that the Democrats push out to spread their propaganda. He, you know how they had the No Kings protest this week, right?
Right. Yeah.
He has this meme where he puts on a king's mask and he
Okay.
gets into a fighter jet.
Okay.
Flies over the protest and dumps shit on him.
Yeah.
Was that actually a real thing?
No, it's AI meme. No, it's not.
No,
real.
I know. I mean, like, did he actually like? Cause I've been seeing that apparently, like, shit was dropped on people. Like, was that a real thing or?
No, that was AI.
It's AI created. Okay. But now Trump did promote it. He probably had somebody do it for him. But yeah,
That's why I think Barron might be running his True Social site, or at least the AI portions, because to go after Harry Sisson, I was like, wait a minute. Trump probably not paying attention to Harry Sisson, but his son might be. So I was like, let me see.
Yeah. He's got people to keep. Trump likes this kind of stuff, man. So if somebody brings it to him and he looks at it, he said, "Oh, I like that," because he's a huckster, man. He's a media guy. He likes that promotion.
Yeah, he's media personality.
He loves. It doesn't matter whether it's positive or negative attention. He loves attention. He might like negative attention more than he likes positive attention.
Yeah, I'm about to show Harry. Yeah, I'm gonna. There's some music on it, so I'm gonna have to, mute it. But you got to see this.
Okay.
This is very reacted to him having shit thrown on him. But anyway, all right. Hold on, wait a minute.
Just hit the little one button. You know where it is.
Yeah, the mute. I already hit the mute button.
Okay, go ahead.
So you got but you see, you got the
king man, the king's mask, the Trump king mask.
Yeah. wait for it though. Oh damn! Damn, that's a lot of shit too. Damn.
Oh boy!
Wow,
hilarious, hilarious.
Trump won. Yeah, that's what happens when you sell a dementia patient to the country. What you think was going to happen?
Man, that's the whole thing, man. The Democrats will, the thing is, publicly they will not admit they screwed up. Okay, but the thing is, if you read the books, read the literature, they already knew they screwed up. Okay.
Yeah, if you read their literature and talk to people behind the scenes, they know they fucked up.
They know they screwed up. They basically, if your campaign team knows that you probably have no shot to win that election, okay, that means that your campaign team don't even believe in you.
Yeah.
So the three people running your campaign don't believe that you can win this thing, okay? And you're gonna blame everybody else, okay? You know you had no shot at winning that.
Yeah, I'm sorry. This never gets old.
What's happening? What's going on? Kevin was right! Winter is coming and we don't have a man! Oh my God.
From now on, just like it's all Jermaine's fault. Okay, that's gonna be in rotation.
Mm-hmm.
So I just hopped up.
Yeah, your grandson be singing that song though, man.
Yeah. I gotta tell her. Yeah.
I was like, Dad, he killed it.
He killed it, man. That's like I took that clip. He killed it.
What are you gonna say, Andre?
Well, I was saying I just hopped up just get your thoughts on this because Officer Tatum now is claiming racism.
Why?
Yeah.
Why?
Because
you know what room you in? Why? Why is he claiming racism?
So basically, like he's defending Israel,
Okay.
And yeah, he's defending Israel, and all the white boys are mad at him. They're calling him a DEI hire and stuff like that.
So, yeah, there's a lot of liberal. Well, really, there's both sides, man, that don't like what's going on over there in Israel.
Yeah.
Right and left. Okay. They don't like.
Well, he's actually defending Israel. So all the white boys. Well, he told all the white boys to pull themselves up by their bootstraps and stop blaming Israel.
Okay. Well, okay. Well, it's not racism then, boss.
Mm-hmm.
They had nothing to do with racism. You know, and so you shoot at them, and you'll think they're not gonna shoot back at you? Come on.
Well, yeah, like and now they're calling him all kinds of monkey and hard R's and all kind of stuff, and
Right,
now he's claiming racism.
Yeah, well, you don't come to us. I don't know who you crying to. Okay, you've been over there with your hat in your hand, man, and tap dancing for them for a long time. Don't come over here.
Yeah.
A whole bunch of them over there tap dancing, and then when they get checked, then they want to come running over here to us. Don't come running over here to us.
Yeah,
I thought that was hilarious because like I was actually like I mentioned, like I listened to him and Candace like before I found you, but I got tired of them because it didn't matter what the situation was. It was always niggas did it.
No, that's fine.
I'm like I can't listen to that shit.
I mean, you know what? If you're a coon that's making money and you get in the bag, I said I ain't even mad at you. Okay.
Shout out to ABL.
Check ABL. That's what I told ABL that, man. You know, when he was cooning, right? Okay, dude. He said, because I said, dude, you don't read enough, you don't study enough, and you're a horrible coon. Because that's how come you're not getting paid. Okay, you need to lock in and read and study and do it right and make your money. Okay?
Yeah.
The only thing worse than a coon is a broke coon.
ABL's still lurking around here. Like I actually caught him in one of CGA's chats.
He's been around. He's been around.
You don't mention him. He's been around. He's still around.
He just see we know ABL because ABL used to be on our streams. Okay, so we know him. So he won't come over here. So we know who he is. A lot of these cats are not going to filter over to my streams because I know who they are. And when
by the way, fun fact, MOT was talking about BGS. BGS is afraid to come over here. I was like, dude, you don't want that smoke, okay? He's like, okay, bro, you don't want that smoke.
All you gotta do is invite me, okay? Because if I come over there, I will not be polite.
Yeah, I think Amiri was on there too, trying to talk shit. I'm like, man, I should have told him, aren't you the same dude? You talking about you need to stop talking about black women. Why was you the same dude that was hiding under a Cynthia G skirt? Oops.
Yeah, like I only tuned in when I seen you were up there, AB. Because and Nagoln called you a hard R. I'm like, I wonder if it got flagged off of that, but then he said it was for a different reason. But I'm like, even him calling you a hard R, I was like, kind of wild to me.
He's another bourgeoisie that's upset that we're not kissing the Democrat Party's ass. But anyway.
I don't, the thing is, I don't care if you're for the Democrats, against the Democrat, or who you're for, right? Okay.
Mm-hmm. Do
you know what the hell you're talking about?
Yes.
If you don't know what you're talking about, I don't want to talk to you about this kind of stuff because you don't know what you're talking about. Basically, this last election, I lost a whole lot of respect for that whole crew over there. A whole lot.
But how did Biden screw up the economy? And I told him, well, they should have never started that proxy war. Like that proxy war has nothing to do with the American economy.
That means you don't.
I just shook my head. I was like, okay.
Then you don't know. But exactly, that's when you hold your head and you put up your hands. I'm in the wrong room. Okay.
Yep. Yeah. I was like, okay. There's no point in.
Craig, you don't want the smoke because we know about them polls. Okay. Them polls that the press is putting out, they were bogus. Even the Kamala Harris campaign team said those polls were bogus. Which I told you they were.
Yep.
Because those polls didn't make sense. Okay. You're a poor candidate on your own. So how are you going to come right out the gate and become the front runner? That makes sense.
And nobody voted for you.
Voted for you on top of that. Okay.
Yep. Didn't win a single swing state.
Yeah. No, man. I mean, when your own campaign team says that shit, okay? It's one thing if I say it, okay?
Yeah.
It's one thing if your own campaign team says with the polls they were actually issuing out were bogus, okay? Just like the chick in California.
Okay,
Mhm.
whatever. I forget her name. Right? Nobody knows who the hell she is.
Katie
Okay.
Porter.
Yeah, Katie Porter. Nobody who the hell she is. How you gonna be in a poll? You be a front runner. Okay. Villa Rigo. Everybody knows who Villa Rigos is, man. For the last 20 years, and you can be a front runner over him. Fuck out of here.
Well,
No.
typical shenanigans.
Okay. I mean, it might have been the last 7 weeks, so that's what they did say. The last 7 weeks it started reflecting. But guess what? Them first 100 days, guess what?
Mhm.
Guess who's on top? Those polls were bogus. Because they said their internal numbers didn't show that shit. Internal numbers said when she was like 15, 20 points behind initially. And he said at the end when they actually were pulling out the real polls, she said that's when she had closed the gap. According to them, I believe them.
Yep. Oh, but we're just what do they call those low information voters?
I know. Yeah, I haven't seen one of those in a while.
Yeah, we're just low
Yeah,
information.
but MOT, hell, I got a chat. You can let me know that you having one, because I'm not subscribed to him, so I don't go over there.
Yeah. Yeah. You got to take it down. I understand them taking it down because as soon as I got off and looked, it it had that little message on there.
Oh, there was a video not available.
Yeah.
He took it down. They don't flag it. They don't flag shit that fast.
Well,
The only way you're gonna get your video flag down that fast is if you have porn on it or something like that. Okay, then they'll and it will tell you why it was taken down. Okay.
He said it was because of some threatening or something. I don't know. Threat or something. Nobody was threatening up there. Not really.
No. Oh no.
He did some shit talking, but nobody was threatening.
He took that thing down, man. It went non-available. Yeah. Not available. They didn't take it down. They would tell you the video has been taken down because of infringement or something like that. If it was actually taken down, okay.
Yeah.
They wouldn't. But things are not available. It means he put it on private. Wow. For whatever reason, I don't know.
Whatever.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. I had no. I don't. So it was just about the No Kings protest.
Yeah, I was kind of teasing them because all the video I saw of the No Kings protest, it was basically people in your age bracket. It's older people.
Mm-hmm.
Then Nagone had the nerve to say, "Oh, there were some young people there. There were some young people there in their 30s and their 40s." I was like, "Huh?"
Okay, well, in their 30s and 40s. Okay. Well, he was out there.
What? Yeah, I guess he was out there.
Okay.
So.
I mean, it might have been.
Yeah, to be fair, I guess that is young to him. So whatever.
Yeah, it is young to him. But the thing is, it's I mean, if you're under 40, we consider you a young person. Okay.
And shout out to get this name right. Shout out to London.
Landon
Dales or
Landon Dales.
Landon Dales. Pro-Black equals Black feminism in 2025, making an
effectively contradictory and useless. Yep.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
And shout out to Craig the Tech Guy. Polls had Trump up by 3 points last
7 weeks. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, but the thing is that because when the polls came out initially, they said these are wrong, especially after the convention. They said these are wrong. These can't be right.
Yeah.
Can't be right. You just got announced. They just switched the candidates, and all of a sudden you're a front runner. Come on.
Oh, but do you remember the hype that certain individuals?
Yeah.
There's like, Kamala Harris is the next thing, and wait for I can't wait for that VP debate. Tim Walz is going to wipe the floor with JD Vance.
Oh yeah, I know. Yeah, well, not so much.
Yeah, that's not what happened.
What is I expect that from people that are cheerleaders, but I don't expect that from people that say they actually watch this stuff, and I know they don't. I mean, if you have to go to MSNBC and Fox and what is it? What's the other one? CNN. Okay, yeah. Then yeah, you're a consumer. You're actually a pedestrian. You're not really a civilian. You're not nowhere near an expert.
Mm-hmm. Who's that? Is that Andre again? Yeah, it's
So,
Andre. Yeah. Well,
so is that time?
yeah. I had to do a treatment today too. So, but I
Oh, did you? How you feeling?
Yeah,
Drained.
sleepy, but
Drained. Yeah, drained. Yeah, that's the problem. Yep.
It does that.
Oh yeah.
But I wanted to get this in.
Yeah, at a part had to go through it before he died. Yeah, and he get it. He sit on the couch, man, and all of a sudden, he get the itis and had to go to bed, had to go sleep.
But it was rough hearing about that young dude, man. He's only 21.
Okay, and it just road rage.
Yeah, evidently it was road rage. That's what his sister said.
Okay, yeah, well,
I babysit these kids. These kids were babies to me.
Yeah, so he didn't know her.
Evidently not.
Okay, and it'll come out, man. You have to wait for it to come out because it happened where?
Here in Indianapolis.
Okay, normally, okay, if it's road rage, okay, there's gonna be a report. Okay, there was an accident or it was a road rage incident, and the cops will actually issue a report. Okay, so it probably just happened. I'd wait on the police report and see what they say.
Yeah. But anyway, I'd like to thank everybody that came through. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out.
What's happening? What's going on? Kevin was right! Winter is coming and we don't have a man! Oh my God.
Yo, this is AB Media 83. Want to support the channel? Hit the Cash App. Also, be sure to like, share, and subscribe to the video. Also, be sure to hit that bell notification so you can be notified next time I upload a live stream or video. And always remember, keep it grinding, keep it pushing, keep it moving. This is AB Media 83, and I'm out. Peace.